For our first standalone video, let's do definitions of everything related to cannabis and the endocannabinoid system in 3 minutes. I'm Lex Pelger, and this is the Canna Education account from CV Sciences. If you're new here, please follow along because we're trying to get to 1,000 followers fast. For what's inside the plant, of course, everybody knows about THC, the cannabinoid that causes the psychoactive effects as well as a bunch of other good things as well. Then CBD is the famous new dietary supplement, and while it doesn't get you high, it is psychoactive because it has anti-anxiety effects, so it does shift your brain that way. The crazy thing about CBD is it has over 75 targets in the human brain and body, so I can do a whole video about that because it is fascinating. There's a reason that it's the hottest dietary supplement to ever hit the field in the last 20 years. Then there is CBG, that is known as the mother cannabinoid because it is the first cannabinoid produced by the plant. All the other cannabinoids derive from that one. There's also CBN, which is the breakdown product of THC, and it tends to be higher in older plants. And because CBN seems to cause sleepiness, is why older cannabis can tend to cause sleepiness in people. There's also the varins, there's CBD variant, THC variant. Those are like the others, except they have a shorter tail and somewhat different effects as well. But inside the plant, all of these cannabinoids are in their acid form. And the acid form is the one that doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. So CBD acid, THC acid. To turn them into the THC and CBD that cross the blood-brain barrier, they need to be heated. So either smoking does that instantly or cooking it for 10 or 20 minutes. And so they, even though we don't have them as much, the raw cannabinoids, the acids, are the reason that people are juicing the cannabis plant and drinking the juice. They can be very good for you, especially with gut health. And so the acid forms are the raw versions in the plant, and then the activated forms are the ones that you tend to find out there in the medical and dietary supplement world. Then we have the endocannabinoid system itself, which is the basis of the endocannabinoid graphic novels based on Moby Dick that I've been working on for 8 years now, and it's fascinating. The first thing ever found was the first neurotransmitter endocannabinoid called anandamide, which is my great white whale. Ananda is a Sanskrit word for bliss, and so it's called the bliss molecule. Soon after, they discovered the 2AG neurotransmitter, which is the second well-studied endocannabinoid neurotransmitter. And since they exist, there must be a place that they bind. So they found the CB1 receptor that is all over the highest parts of our brain. It's actually the most widespread G-protein coupled receptor in the brain, which if you're a neurochemist is just a big gotcha. But it's not in the lower parts of the brain, which is why you can't overdose on cannabis. Then you have the CB2 receptors, which are on every organ and seem to interact with the immune system. And so there are some other receptors that might be known as CB3 and CB4 in the future. There's also a number of other, maybe 6 other endocannabinoids that are not well characterized, but at least we know they exist. But there's the basics of what's inside the plants and what's inside the endocannabinoid system in us. If you have any questions, ask me anything.